You're listening to Mindset Live on the Mindset Network.
Mindset Live, episode 11. I'm Gareth. Here's Joe. Joe.
Hey, Gareth.
I have to ask you a question. What was it that you wanted and needed?
I needed to be on air with Mindset Live with you, and I needed music.
Well, we're back once again in front of microphones, yapping away about all kinds of nonsense. Going to play some news. They'll spin the wheel of news in a little bit. We got some great tunes lined up, some great rocking tunes from alternative and up-and-coming bands. But before we get into all that mind-altering goodness, what you been up to, Joe?
This week has been an interesting week. We had Halloween, of course, so that was a good day. But just been a kind of one of those weeks where a lot of tension, but it's been a good week, man. I was thinking about this earlier, man. I feel good. I know Halloween was exciting. We had a lot of trick-or-treaters. I watched some more scary movies.
Oh, you did? What did you watch?
I was actually just nothing in particular I can say. Like, for example, I was just kind of flipping through some of the horror channels like Chiller, watching some off the wall kind of movies. I watched The Craft. Remember that one, the old one?
Oh, yeah, I remember
from
that.
The 90s.
Yeah.
There was like a marathon on one of the channels, and they were playing all kinds of movies like that. So I was watching that.
The Craft. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, because I remember watching that when it came out. And I mean, it just seems like it came out last week, but it was like, what, 20 years ago?
When you watch it now, it's crazy to see that.
Is it really dated?
It is. It is. It's dated, and but also I still think if you like the movie, I still think it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
I like the cast in it. I was thinking, like, what happened to that one chick that she played like the one that turned bad at the end?
Yeah. She had like that kind of look.
She was the gothic one.
Right. I don't know, man. I wonder what like a lot of these people, they make movies and they're famous for a couple of years and then they just like vanish.
Yeah, they're like in all these like cult kind of movies that are pop, like American Pie or all those kind. They all have like the same cast, but they all play in different movies, and then they go away.
Yeah, they just go away.
That chick was in a ton of movies back then.
Right.
And
yeah.
I don't know what happened. I was wondering that when I was watching it. So those are the kind of things you think about when you watch movies like that old, because you're like, well, I wonder what happened to these people. Some of them still do stuff,
Well, that's where Wikipedia comes in, dude. You can always go and look at the cast or the what's the movie database, the online movie database.
That's true. Yeah,
And
you can find anything on the internet.
and you can dig them up and see what they're up to, if they're still involved in movies or whether they're working the drive-through or what they're doing these days. But I guess
earlier this week, I was before we get into Halloween, I was at a place. I'm not going to say where I was at exactly.
Why not?
I was in it because it's something I don't want to bring up on air and in public. But
okay, dude, just whisper it to me. No one will
I
hear.
will. No, but listen, I want to talk about surveillance a little bit. I was in an area where there's a lot of surveillance.
Okay.
And I basically had to go more into the city for some stuff. And you go into some of these buildings, and it's not even just in the buildings, but on the streets when you walk. You probably see it when you walk down in your city. Cameras everywhere. Just
Right. Yeah. Totally.
so that's normal, right? But it just feels weird. Like if you get scanned, searched, you got cameras on you.
Wait. You were searched?
Well, yeah, you had to go through certain things to get in certain areas. So you get like checkpoints, you know what I mean? So they search you.
Okay.
So I know it's like going through an airport, basically. You go through the scanner. But I wonder if anybody ever listening, like they ever feel like this. Like it's normal, right? You think it's normal?
I don't think it's normal.
I think a lot of people do. And I really thought about this when I was doing it because I don't experience that a whole lot, to be honest. So
I hate it.
I was like, man, I almost felt violated.
A few months ago, we took my kids to see One Direction.
Now that's something you shouldn't bring up on public.
I know, but when we went in the place, I mean, it was like the whole place was packed with 99% screaming girls, right, prepubescent kids, and when you go in, they have the security there, right? They have like the guys there with the metal detectors, and they search your bag and whatever the case may be. So I just had I had on flip-flops, t-shirt, shorts, and in my pocket I had my phone, my keys, and my wallet. And that was it. That's all I had on me. So I head in there, and they say, okay, put all your shit in this basket, and I pull out my wallet, my keys, and my phone. I throw them in there, and they look, and on my keys, I have like one of these little pen knives, just like a little knife thing, that flops out. It comes out. It can be a knife or a screwdriver or whatever. Just a little thing. And they were like, "Oh, can't let you in with that." He said, "We're gonna have to confiscate it." And I was like, "Fuck that! I'm just parked right there. Let me go take it back to the car." He was like, "All right."
See, I didn't go in there. I didn't go in with anything.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, I didn't even realize that I had that with me. Do you know what I mean? It's just on my key.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's something that's on your keychain. You're not thinking it's nonchalant.
I'm not thinking like, oh, I got a knife or I'm up.
They could get like a bottle opener. That could be considered a weapon.
Exactly. And I just had it on my keychain. I didn't think about it. It didn't even enter my mind until the guy said, "Oh, can't come in with that." It's madness.
When you go through all those kind of things, I mean, do you ever just think this isn't normal?
It's totally not normal.
This is what our society has become.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, people probably don't even think about it because they probably do it every day or just are used to it. But it got me really thinking about it just for some reason.
What we should do is, we should organize it so that one of these big events where they have security checking everyone going in, we should, at the end of the event, we should have our own security outside checking the security as they leave.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Like all the regular people.
Let me check you.
Like if it's just a regular guy or whatever leaving, they just go straight through. The security people, when their shift is over and they leave, "Oh, excuse me, could you empty your pockets, please? Can I see what's in your bag?"
We're going to scan you down with that wand.
Yeah, let me scan you. Oh, you can't leave the building without us checking you. And see how bent out of shape those fucks get.
It's not going to go away. It's only going to get worse.
Right. We should be able to flip the table. That's what I don't understand, right? Where it drives me... Well, I mean, I do understand it, but it still drives me crazy where some person and or organization can do all kinds of bullshit to me, but I can't do crap to them. It's like the government and the surveillance thing, right? If some fucking retard in the government says, "Oh, look at this fucking fool, Gareth Davies. Let me read his email. Let's see what he's up to. Let me check his shit." He can do that. But if I wanted to do that to that guy, I'd be in jail.
I want to check the email of them. You can't do it.
You know what I mean?
You wouldn't get access.
Like, he can snoop the fuck out of me. But if I say, "Oh, let's see what this guy's up to. Let me check his fucking..." Woo! You know what I mean?
So
like,
not to go real deep into this, but, you know, like, I just thought about this week. And maybe just people think about all the time, but it really got me thinking about it. And I know it's stuff we talk about all the time. But just sometimes you think about more than others, you know? You know what I mean?
Well, it's like privacy only exists for the government and for the rich. For everyone else, fuck that privacy shit. We're going to search the shit out of you. Fuck that. We'll do what we like.
Okay, here's another thing. This week, I was thinking back a year ago. Gareth, remember the 5th?
I do, yeah.
Remember the site? We weren't doing any podcast in the month of October at Mindset Central.
Yeah. That was the return, wasn't it? The remember the 5th of November? We were doing the play on the whole Guy Fawkes night in the UK. I remember Alex Fate did a great video. This was a couple of years ago now. And you guys listening should totally check it out. Alex Fate 101 on YouTube. Where he did this video, 5th of November video, where he had like the Guy Fawkes mask from V for Vendetta on.
Yeah.
It's one of the best videos he's ever done. I think it was awesome. If you haven't seen it, you should totally check it out. It's a very, very cool video.
Yeah, he does amazing videos.
Yeah.
So this week it got me thinking about that. I know it's coming up next week, but the whole anniversary of that, because the site got hacked.
We got hacked, yeah.
We were down.
It was crazy.
We got hacked by the Indians.
And it was, yeah, it was the Iranians. They got in, they put a big thing on the site with page, "You've been hacked," blah, blah, blah. And it was unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it threw everything off.
I had to go in, I had to go through the PHP files and change stuff and get things working. And it was a big fucking pain in the ass. And then once I got it working, I had to go in and change all my passwords on everything. It was like, what a nightmare.
Yeah, and I think the sites and the shows are just stronger than ever now. So
yeah,
we're back and stronger than ever. I mean, look, we're doing Mindset Live. Would you ever thought a year ago we'd be doing Mindset Live?
No, absolutely not. No,
I know, it just...
No.
So, yeah, they got me thinking about it. So this week, let's get back to Halloween. We had Halloween.
Yep.
Was it yesterday?
I think so.
Yeah, yesterday.
It was yesterday. All Hallows Eve. What'd you get up to? Anything cool?
I actually didn't do any trick-or-treating. I know you did.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if you went out with the fammy and did some trick-or-treating.
I did trick-or-treating because I got kids.
Yeah. Well, you had me working in the studio here. Like, get this done, you know, like...
If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be trick or treating. Trust me. Yeah. So yeah, we went out, and it's becoming a kind of annual. Well, in the past, what we used to do was we just get the kids and we go around the neighborhood. You know, we just walk around for half an hour, maybe an hour, and then that was it. Then we go home, and that's the end of that. But my wife became friends with this lady in Alhambra. And she invites us over every Halloween. We've done it for the past 2 years to go over to her house and to go trick-or-treating in that area with like a bunch of kids. Let's say that they have like 25, 30 kids. So we went over and did that. Now last year, I mean this year was good too, but we had to leave early because my son bit open one of those, you know, those glow sticks?
Yeah. Oh, he bit into that?
He bit it and swallowed the stuff.
Jeez.
So that freaked everyone. You know, well, we got to take an emergency. And so we ended up calling the poison hotline.
It does look tempting to eat into those
on
things.
The package, it has like the poison. And we were like, "What the hell do you think?" I don't know. But called the poison hotline, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we get a lot of those calls this time of year. It's going to be fine. The stuff that's in there is harmless. It might irritate his mouth or his throat, or he might get a slight stomach ache. But other than that, he'll be fine. Just wash his mouth out and have him drink some water. He'll be okay." So we did that, and he was fine. He's good. But what they do is, and this is the trip, right? Because it's a party. It's a party for the kids, the trick or treat, but there's an adult party also. and they have a lot of beer and wine and all that stuff. But last year, they didn't do it this year for some reason, but last year, what they did was we were getting ready to go trick-or-treating, and they said, okay, who's going to pull the cart? And I was like, what cart? Someone's got to pull the cart while we go trick-or-treating. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll pull the cart. That's cool. So we go. There's like, one of these big, what are they called? Those, those things the kids ride in, you pull it. What's it called?
Yeah, like a wagon?
A wagon. That's the.
I thought you guys rented a golf cart.
No, it was a wagon, but a big wagon. And this big wagon all piled up with like a sheet over it. And I pull it out, and I look under the sheet, and there's like 2 massive ice chests full of beer, dude.
Oh.
So we're going around the neighborhoods, and the kids are going trick-or-treating up to the houses, and all the adults are hanging out by the wagon, getting wasted.
Oh, man, there you go. There's a way to do it.
So it was great, but the bad part is that, we go out for trick-or-treating like maybe 45 minutes, an hour, and everyone's like pounding as you go around pulling this thing. So towards the end, you're like, man, I got to take a leak.
Yeah, and you're tired.
And there's nowhere to go because you're in the street.
You got to go in someone's yard.
You know what I mean? It's like so, and I'm like, oh shit.
Behind one of the decorations.
So I had to go in a bush.
I think I might have done that once, because and during Christmas you walk around to see the lights on the streets, the same thing.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
And usually you carry a drink with you or something.
Totally.
And you got to go. I guess you go, right?
Yeah, when you got to go, you got to go. What are you gonna do? So that's
interesting. So you guys did that. You walked around.
So we had the wagon, and then last night we had to leave early because my son bit that thing. But it was fun. They got huge big bags of candy. We went to this neighborhood. And to certain houses, because it's a very nice upmarket neighborhood, they give the full-size candy bars, which is very cool. Usually you get the fun-size, little tiny little Snickers and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys were given the full size.
I was handing out broccoli.
No way. Are you serious?
We actually have a story later on relating to some of this, so I can't wait to get into that because it's pretty...
I was handing out apples with razor blades in them.
There was, dude. I read today there was some kid. He opened up a bag of M&Ms and there was a razor blade in it.
Oh, really?
And they can't figure out how, because it looked like it wasn't opened up.
Oh, it was sealed.
It was sealed.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly, I mean, you know how the media is.
That's great. Well, you know what? That's funny. Another story just popped into my head. Years ago, this was like before I even had kids. This was years ago. I always remember this because it was so fucking bizarre. My wife and I were out, and we went for lunch. We never do this. We went for lunch at this place called Shakey's. You have Shakey's in Florida?
Shakey's? That doesn't sound familiar, man.
It's a pizza place, Shakey's Pizza. It's a big chain, a big chain here in California. And they sell pizza all day, but for lunchtime they do like a buffet. Right, so you pay like $8-9, whatever it is, and you have all-you-can-eat buffet. So you can go and you have pizza, chicken wings, mojos, salad, whatever on this buffet. So we went there. We paid our $8 or whatever it was, and we got our plates, and we went. I'm loading up with pizza and stuff. And I thought, well, I got a little bit of space on my plate here. I think I'll get a little bit of salad. So you put some lettuce and carrots, tomatoes, whatever. And I'm like, well, let's get some salad dressing here. So I said some dressing. So I open it up. So I always go for the 1,000. So I dip the ladle in the 1,000 and I pull it up, and there's a fucking condom in the dressing.
A condom?
Condom.
That's disgusting, dude.
So I'll call my wife over, and she gets the ladle and she moves it around. She pulls it up, and there's the fucking condom. But it wasn't like a used condom. It was like it was still rolled up, like you'd open the package and just thrown it in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's funny but gross.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't want to experience it.
So we call the manager over, and we're like, dude, what the fuck? We gotta look at this. And dude, he thought it was us. He thought we put it in there and was scamming for a free meal.
Oh man, that's
And I was like, you gotta be
people
kidding
do that.
me.
People do that.
He was like, This was in there? How'd that get, like real, and you could see it in his face, like, you did that, huh?
If you think about it, that's kind of clever, though. If you really want to get a free meal.
Oh, come on, dude. But we did get a free meal. We had our money back, but still.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you don't expect that to be
But he
blamed.
was looking at it, was like, oh, these guys probably.
At least you reported it and didn't let a bunch of other people see it.
So that was crazy. I always remember that. I'm like, how the fuck did that get in there,
If there was like 10 people up there at that buffet, they saw that, they would...
Somebody put it in there for whether it was a joke or a scam to get a free meal or some shit. But that just, when you said that about finding the razor blade and the M&Ms, that just reminded me of the condom in the Thousand Island.
Yeah, you got to look in your food, folks. Your candy, or where you eat. You don't know what's in there.
You do not know. All right, Joe, how about some music to get things going here?
Certainly. Go ahead and pick a song out of the archive there.
Well, I'm thinking about some Psychosis, because I think I might be getting some.
Oh, yes, I do want to play that. This is actually, I want to bring this up. What is this? The Knievel Dead, right?
Oh, this is the Knievel Dead?
Knievel Dead. They submitted to Mindset Central.
This is Joe Ressington's buddies.
Yeah, they sent me a song, so we're going to be playing out on a future episode of Radio Hour, so I thought I'd preview it here on Mindset Live.
All right.
And it's a new song from them. Actually, it's a new single.
All right, let's get to it. This is the Knievel Dead and Psychosis.
Psychosis.
You're listening to Mindset Live with Gareth and Joe. Here we go. Psychosis there by the Knievel Dead from London, UK. Coming at you on Mindset Live. All right?
Oh, yes. All right, mate. Old London town.
Yeah, man.
So, hey, check this out. I'm on their site. It's the KnievelDead.com. That's their newest single out. But they did release an album last year. I think they have an EP out right now, too.
I think.
I want to read real quick, Gareth, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I was reading their biography section here, and there's a really interesting part about how they met. I wanted to read it off real quick. Meeting in the cold, stark halls of an oppressive institution, they would never foresee the endeavors that awaited them. Sometime later, and free from all suppressors, the Knievel Dead ascend to ponder around the backwaters of old London town. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't know.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's kind of freaky, huh?
So you met them online through Joe Resenton, right?
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, I think Joe. I might get this wrong, but I think Joe mixed their album or their EP or something like that. But Joe is definitely buddies with them.
Yeah, I saw they were on Twitter tweeting back and forth, and they messaged me, and I think you had asked them about being on Mindset Radio Hour or something.
Yeah, because Joe was telling me that he just mixed their EP, and I said, well, put them in touch with the other Joe so they can get them on the Mindset Radio Hour. And I guess it finally happened.
Yeah, here we are, folks. They actually emailed me recently, and it's an honor to play the song because they've been on BBC, they've been on a lot of radio stations, different podcasts, so it's an honor to have them here on Mindset Live. So they'll be on Mindset Radio Hour. I'm going to get some more tracks from them as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so a lot of times you hear a song, Gareth, and it's like, if you like it, you're going to get more of their music.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I remember that's how I discovered, most of the music I did growing up,
And sometimes the main single or whatever a band puts out, that's the popular one. So sometimes I won't like that one. I actually like the other stuff better. That's how it is sometimes with me.
Yeah. I remember a quick story. The band Talking Heads. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I like them.
They had this track came out in the late '80s called "Road to Nowhere." Right?
Yeah, I've heard it,
and it was a big hit. And that was my first exposure to them as a kid. And I immediately went out and bought all of their albums and became a massive fan because of that song. And you go back through their back catalog, and now, I mean, like you said, that's just the gateway, the foot in the door to get you in there. You discover even better stuff, more richer stuff than the stuff that you're on the radio. So yeah, absolutely. That one track can pull you in. You go back and revisit all their back catalog and love it.
Yeah, so I hope everybody liked that song by the Knievel Dead. I like the name, the Knievel Dead.
Yeah, a play on Evil Knievel and the Evil Dead. Very good. Very
Evil
original.
Knievel.
I like that. All right, Joe, how about we spin the wheel of news and see what's going on in this crazy planet of ours? You want to go first?
So you excited?
Am I
to
what?
get the wheel of news going?
Of course, always. Let's.
Now I want to warn everybody on the wheel of news. They're little offbeat stories. They're different from your typical Mindset Central stories that you might hear on the podcast on Sundays.
Yeah, these are a little more lighthearted in many ways, but occasionally we'll tiptoe into some darkness. But mostly this is just us having some fun at the expense of the retard, imbecile mainstream press.
Yeah. It's a good reflection of society, actually, if you listen to a lot of these stories.
All right, so you want to spin it? You want to get things going here?
All righty.
All right, here we go.
Spin her up. What do we got?
Where it stops, nobody knows. Round and round she goes.
This one's, you want me to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I spun it here, but you were looking at me kind of weird there. But.
All right.
And I'm going to put this in everybody's heads, but this something came out recently. It's been in my head now this week. It's a story called Spearing Pirates.
Spearing Pirates.
Well, that's what I called it. And it's actually named after one of your favorite musicians. We were just talking about music. Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Well, get this. I want to bring this up. The military is using Britney Spears music to fight off Somalian pirates.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm sure you'd heard of that being used as a weapon before, like music.
Well, I remember when Britney Spears first started to get famous with that "Hit Me Baby One More Time" thing, and was it the late 90s or something, or early 2000s?
Yeah.
I remember seeing a guy with a T-shirt that said "Spear Britney."
Yeah. That's interesting that would come out now, because this is about pirates.
Arr. Arr.
So you remember the Somalian pirates? They just had that movie Captain Jack come out, or is it Captain? What is it with Tom Hanks in it?
Captain
Phillip or something.
Captain Phillips, yeah.
Phillips, yeah. It's always being advertised, but I think that's based off one of the stories from over there. But remember in the news, all the Somalian pirates attacking this ship?
Yeah. It's just been making the news for the last couple of years with the people getting kidnapped and held for ransom and whatnot and taken aback. Because they show up on these little boats, but they're armed to the teeth. They're like automatic weapons and all kinds of stuff. Whereas these big tankers, they really don't have any way to defend themselves. So they,
Yeah, well, so apparently they're using. So they hate Western culture. They hate, and in particular, they hate this kind of music. So I have a couple clips, but I think we should play the news one first. It kind of talks about the story.
All right, let's see. So
let me get that so we get the right file.
Okay, which one is it? There's two here.
Yeah, that's why I got two clips with this story.
So which one do you want me to play?
Hang on. Okay, just the one that's called Spearing Pirates.
All right.
Spearing Pirates, everybody.
Yeah. Spearing Pirates with Britney Spears. Love it. All right, here we go. Let's have a listen to this.
Story is that naval officers use Britney Spears music to scare off pirates. And it works. According to Naval Second Officer Owens, his security team picked out these songs, Britney Spears' songs, because they thought the pirates would hate them.
Is this news reporter drunk? I'm just saying.
He sounds like it, doesn't he?
Listen to the way he talks. He's slurring his words. Britney Spears. Listen.
According to Naval Second Officer Owens, his security team picked out these songs, Britney Spears' songs.
Britney Spears' songs. You hear that?
Yes.
Doesn't that sound like he's lit? Listen.
Britney Spears' songs.
Britney Spears' songs.
Britney Spears' songs. Britney Spears.
Britney Spears' songs because they thought the pirates would hate them. And they were right. These guys can't stand Western culture or music, making Britney's hits perfect. It's so effective that ship's security rarely needs to resort to firing guns. In case you were wondering, the songs in question are Oops, I Did It Again, and Baby One More Time. So classic Britney, not new Britney, even though they should try that out. Can you imagine the Somalian pirates at the MTV VMAs? It'd just be hell for those guys. Of course, this isn't the first time that pop music has been used to, screw with people. Metallica's music has been used to interrogate people by the Navy SEALs, but
I don't buy this. Do you buy this?
What do you mean? Explain. Buy what? That it's happening?
Okay, so let me put this to you, right? I'm a badass Somali pirate.
Yeah, I'm not buying that they're totally
I got
scared
a bunch of people.
that's ridiculous.
I got a bunch of people on boats. We all got automatic weapons. We got tons of ammo, and we're going.
But we're scared of the music.
Top speed towards this fucking boat, where we're gonna jump in there and steal a bunch of money and maybe hold some people a ransom. And they play Britney Spears, and you're like, oh no, I gotta leave. Fuck, what is up with it?
I don't know. And when I heard the story, that's what I thought, Gareth. I was like,
that doesn't make any sense.
This doesn't make sense. There has to be something more to it than just blaring this music. Because he's saying, they don't have to use weapons.
Is this like a vampire's coming to kill you, and you show him a cross, and he's like, ah!
I've heard multiple reports on this. So what I did is I went through and got some different news stories, and I got the more lighthearted one. But there was a more serious one where they were talking about that it's not used as a last resort. It's more like a kind of let's throw the music on and see if it works. But apparently it's working. But in the next clip we have,
this is the one in action. Is this more of a serious news thing?
No, that one's interesting. But let's wait to play that. Play the rest of this one.
I closed it out already. I was going to go to the next one.
You son of a.
Let's go to the.
Okay, let me explain this one. Now, this one here is the actual live leak footage, of the helicopters and the ships playing the music while they're attacking the pirates. So I apologize. I might blow out your speakers a little bit.
I'll put the sound down, but let's see.
But just on some parts. But I think it's pretty hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're firing on them.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
That footage, I'm going to get the link for you so everybody can see it. The helicopter's flying over the ship where the Somalians are, and they're blaring Britney Spears while they're firing the gun down on it. That's what you're hearing.
Wow. And I'm assuming that it occasionally will work, though, right? Well, they'll get scared and turn away and leave.
Yeah, that's what happens in the footage. There's a bunch of stuff you continue playing. That's pretty funny.
That's crazy.
Listen to the bass.
Oh my god, it's way too loud.
But think of the speakers on these ships. A helicopter. Hear the gun?
What a trip.
Dude, it sounds like the guy, in the pilots, they wear the earphones.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's listening to it through that.
But I wonder what someone like Britney Spears would think. Like, you're using my music to scare people away? Fuck you.
I think it's a publicity thing, too. I think she's getting publicity because of it.
Oh, of course, yeah. That is a big publicity.
So how could she not like it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, if she's...
How dare you use my music? Are you paying
scare
me?
people away? You know?
They have to be paying her to use it.
Well, it probably play some kind of royalties, I guess.
Or let's throw on some...
That's nuts, man. So do we have like a serious clip with them discussing this?
Yeah, in the other clip, they keep talking about, if you want to go back to that one.
But does it get serious, or are they still goofing on it?
No, it gets serious.
Totally worked. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen was used on prisoners in Guantanamo Bay as a wake-up call, and Barney's songs have been used by PSYOPs forever. That's one of their weapons. What about you guys? What do you think should be
rewind
used
it back
by
a little bit.
against the Somali? Told a Navy SEAL, please stop doing that. We don't want to promote violence. The Real Slim Shady by Eminem was used to subdue prisoners at a prison in Afghanistan, and it totally worked. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen was used on prisoners in Guantanamo Bay as a wake-up call, and Barney's songs have been used by PSYOPs forever. That's one of their weapons. What about you guys? What do you think should be used by against the Somalian pirates? For me, it's that new Applause song by Lady Gaga. What do you guys think?
Taylor Swift, all of it.
Space Jam, War. Friday by Rebecca Black. Any Boy George song.
Oh, that's harsh, man. All right, tell us what you guys think in the comments. What song should be?
Well, they do have a point. I mean, years ago, what I would do if you want, if you have to get up early for work, and you're kind of addicted to hitting the snooze button on your alarm, is to put the alarm far away from your bed so you can't reach it, and tune it into some Christian station.
Put music on, right?
Yeah, but like some Christian rock or something that's like unbearably bad. That's really difficult for you. So you have to get out of bed to turn that shit off, or you'll lose your fucking mind.
Yeah. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Because that explains a lot.
It would be, you'd wake up and it would be all like, Jesus.
Praise the Lord.
Jesus fills your heart with joy. And you're like, oh my God. And you feel like destroying the radio because it's such retard shit.
You got to get up
out
then.
of it. Yeah, so I mean, if you look at that,
so it does cause a reaction. Is what you're saying?
It makes sense, If it's like fingernails on a chalkboard, right? You're like, turn it off.
There's a part in there we didn't get to. I skipped over, but they talk about Metallica. They use the Metallica. I could see that, being used in war, like as an aggressive kind of.
Yeah.
Imagine putting that on a tank and going into war. And
I used to work.
Like, yeah.
No, absolutely. I used to work with a guy who was in Iraq.
Back in damn.
He was in Iraq, and he was there doing, the invasion and all that stuff. And yeah, they used to crank up hard rock, heavy metal when they go into battle to get everyone all pumped. Like, let's go. They'd be playing it in the vehicles or in the tank or whatever, just cranking it as they go in there, just opening
That's
up,
crazy.
just opening up on shit.
Yeah, so the power of music.
Yeah.
And this in display with
Absolutely.
Britney Spears.
Big time.
Sorry to put that in everybody's heads, that song, those songs.
Yeah. Spear Britney.
It was torture for us, but I thought it was an interesting kind of quirky story there.
Absolutely. All right, let's do.
It just popped up on the Wheel of News.
Let's do another Wheel of News here.
Your turn.
I want to spin it.
Spin me right round. Boy George.
Boy George. Is it gonna stop it? Oh yes.
Artifact.
Gaming Granny wreaks revenge on energy supplier.
This one's interesting. It's not really a news story per se, but it did become a viral story, like a viral video.
Right.
Gareth, do you like video games? Do your kids like video games?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm sure the
against them.
people listening had played video games at one point, or they know someone that's
Of
big
course.
into video games.
Yeah.
And there's a popular game that's out called Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Everybody plays this. And basically in this game, you can do whatever you want. You can go around causing mayhem. The world is vast.
This is a very popular game.
Yeah.
Huge.
And you can do very bad things. I mean, you can. So this is a related to this because this gaming granny, she's from the UK, obviously, when you hear her talking.
Yeah.
She takes out her revenge in this game because the British gas has risen their prices.
Well, that's one of the things. Like every year, they kind of go through this in the UK, where, there's a lot of old age pensioners. They're on a pension. They're on like a restricted income, right? They're on a fixed income. They get money from the state because they can't work, and in the winter, it gets very, very cold. You get snow, they get freezing temperatures. It gets very cold. And a lot of old people, they're scared to turn on the heating in their house.
Okay.
Because they don't want to get blasted with some massive bill. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's freezing and they turn on the heating and then
so the power companies or the gas companies losing out, so they need to raise their prices.
Well, they don't turn the heating on because they know that if they do, a month from now, they're going to get like a huge bill and they're not going to be able to afford to pay it. So they're very, very restrictive on when they turn on the heating or whether they turn it on or not. And what this leads to is a lot of old people dying, freezing to death because they're scared to turn on the heating because they don't have the money to pay the bill when it comes in.
Why is it so expensive?
Oh, dude, it's the way it is, I guess.
Yeah, it's the same here.
Yeah.
We don't have to use the heat a whole lot.
Well, yeah,
heat's expensive.
Well, that's the thing.
The thing is, AC we have to use.
Yeah,
and that's what gets us.
You get the reverse, right? Because if you're in a climate where it really doesn't get that cold, heating is not really an issue. Cooling down is the issue.
Yeah. So what we have here is, I guess this lady fits into this sort of segment of society over there where she's doesn't want to turn the heat on. So it's funny, but she's playing this game, right? And she's taking out her revenge in the game by playing, different roles in there. And the video clip, you can hear her talking in the game, and we have a link to her YouTube channel.
She has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's what is it? Gamer Granny 87. So this lady must be 87 years old.
Oh my god! I mean, it's bizarre.
Could you imagine
that an 87-year-old old granny is playing this shit?
I know, that's
what I mean?
What's funny about it.
You'd never imagine them playing this.
Yeah, and so she has a channel. It's become viral. I saw it on several news sites, and I tracked down her actual channel. I went on there. And she has one video up of this, and it's her playing Grand Theft Auto, and she's wreaking revenge on British gas.
All right, let's have a listen.
What do you do for a living? Work for British Gas, do you? You wanker.
Now hold on.
You put my bills up. Bastard back.
What?
Before we go on, that's her. She's kind of like has a headset on, and she's talking into the game like she's the character.
Well, she just said right now, "Oh, you work for British Gas, do you?" Oh, so she has characters, I guess, that she's seeing on the screen that are.
Yeah, in the screen, her character is like a guy walking around with a gun or whatever. So she's talking like she's that guy walking around,
and she's killing them in the game.
Yeah, and we'll have the clip right here in the link or in the show notes so you can watch it.
Let's see.
You wanker. I'll give you my bills up. Bastard back. You take that. You won't put them up no more. Bang! One for you and one for you. I'll give you one as well. You come here. I'll get you, you bastard. Come back. I'll give you central eating. You want central eating, babe? You've got it.
I hear the bullets.
Oh, yeah. You take that. Oh, take my fucking money out the wall, will you? Scum, you won't get no more of my money. No, you gas bastard. Scum, you're all scum. Ooh, take that. Take that. Ooh. Where's the next bastard up here? Hey! Hey! Come on, die. Oh.
Is she really playing this in this, or is this because I'm getting the hoax vibe?
No, she really is. Like, you watch the channel, she's playing the game, and now you don't see her actually playing. You just see a shot of her head as she's talking, and you see the game. The more the screen is her playing on the game, her character.
Interesting.
But she's definitely. I think she's playing the game. She might just be talking, like you said. I don't know. I think she's playing it.
Well,
when you see the clip, it's believable.
She could be, but I mean, the thing that gets me is like a lot of people who are over a certain age, they barely know how to change channels on a fucking TV, let alone play a video game.
I know.
You know,
that's what's funny about this.
I don't know.
And I just like the way she's ranting about going off on this.
Oh, you bastard!
What a good way to take out your
frustration.
Frustration through a video game, right?
Yeah, it's better than going out there and doing it for real.
Now this part of play right here, she's flying in a helicopter, and she's about to hit this gas plant, and supposedly she thinks it's British gas. So listen to this one.
Oh, there you are, you bastards. We finally found you. British gas bastards! Good! I'm gonna blow you to hell! Wankers! Whee! This is it, you cunts! That's happy hour! You... Oh, this is it! Die!
That's my favorite part of the clip right there.
The pain!
That's so bizarre, dude. That an old lady is playing this. How weird is that?
You have to see the video.
Oh my god, that is so strange.
I noticed on some of the websites, they censor out the part where she says "wanka."
Yeah.
So why do they do that? Is that a bad word?
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
So I actually went to her channel to get the unedited version. Yeah.
The director's cut.
You had to say you're over 21, all this stuff. It's crazy.
No way.
Yeah. She must have some privacy thing on there.
Can you imagine your grandmother playing Grand Theft Auto? I fucking can't imagine that shit. Not even for a second.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. So what'd you think of this though?
Well, I mean, I'm getting the
the hoax vibe.
Yeah, that something ain't right.
Well, when you watch the clip, you see her profile in the corner with the headset. She's yelling and talking. She's really doing that. Whether she's actually playing the game, it's up for debate. But you see the gameplay going on as she's talking. You see her blowing up the gas plant. You see her beating up the guy at the ATM. She does.
Even if she is playing the game and they're recording the gameplay, even if everything you see and hear is legitimate and as far as she's playing the game and doing what she needs to do, I get the feeling that the whole concept of her yelling out about the gas and is fake. Like it's a put up. The scenario is manufactured. It's not as if she was just randomly playing and recording and said all this stuff, and then after the fact they thought, oh, this is funny, let's upload this. I think,
and there's already, in a couple of days, there was over like 300,000 views.
Yeah, I think the reverse is true. I think it might be manufactured. It's like, okay, go ahead and do this and say these things while you're doing it, and we'll record it. And they record it a couple of times till they get the right take, or maybe edit a few together to get the right, thing, and then upload that.
And it gets the publicity.
Yeah, I
think about it. It's definitely original.
Oh yeah,
have you seen any other
question. Yeah, it is.
grandmas playing video games?
No,
like this?
No, not at all. But I do get the feeling that this isn't some kind of spontaneous, accidental recording that just happened. There's some kind of string pulling here.
Why would she just set up it? Because this is her channel, Gamer Granny 87 on YouTube.
Exactly.
If you go there, what made her start this channel on this one game? She's got one video up too, which I think is odd.
Yeah. It's something. Yeah, it's
if she was this much into gaming, she'd have a bunch of videos. I was looking for more videes. I was like, well, maybe she's got more videos. That was pretty hilarious. But then that's the only video I saw.
This is all contrived and manufactured. I mean, now don't get me wrong. As far as her playing the game and saying those things and doing it, that very well might be genuine. As far as her playing the game, but I think the concept and what she's doing is a kind of it is manufactured and pre-planned.
All right, just for fun, you want to play just a seconds of that again?
Sure, yeah. I love it when she screams. See, you can hear the cut there.
Yeah. Go to the beginning part.
All right, right at the beginning of the clip?
Yeah.
All right.
What you do for a living? Work for British Gas, do you?
Right there, that's hilarious.
See, that's...
you work for British Gas, do you?
Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, you work for British Gas, do you? Oh, well, in that case... Die, die, die!
Die, die, die!
Yeah, I think
it definitely puts the attention on British Gas.
Yes.
Think about it.
Well, I mean, it's not very positive attention.
It puts the pressure on them to lower the gas prices.
It's pretty negative, but still.
Now, Gamer Granny has been known as almost as a hero to the other elderly over there. Because what she's doing is she's putting herself on display here, playing these games, and the sacrifice to get lower gas prices.
Well, they need to do something, dude. I mean, if old people are dropping dead because they're too scared to turn on the heating because it's so, they can't afford to pay the bills and it's so cold.
When you were old, you used to be where you were set the rest of your life.
Yeah, those days are gone.
To me, that was always the
well, it used to be like back in the day. You'd leave school or get out of college, you get some job, and then that's your job for the next 40 years.
Now, hold on. Now she's complaining about the price.
Not anymore,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
but the price though. The games aren't cheap, so she can afford these games.
Well, that's a great point there, Joe. Because you got to figure if she's going to be bitching and moaning about the British Gas putting up the prices and it's going to get cold and she can't pay for her gas bill to heat her house, she can afford $300 for a fucking PS3 or an Xbox 360.
The PS4 is $399,
and then $70 for that dopey game. So if she can afford all that shit, I'm sure she can afford to pay her bills for
Yeah.
So that's
she might make some money on her channel now. She's getting all these hits.
Well, that's true. Yeah, she's on there now. And raking in the ad benefits, so she should be good to go for the winter.
I mean, it's all over. Like it's on the clip I hear is from the Telegraph. It's all over the news stories, like the links and stuff.
So yeah, she's probably paid for her energy bill,
Grandma,
and then some from doing that. But yeah, interesting stuff. But it's interesting how you say that though. It used to be like when you were older, you were set.
Yeah,
and that has changed so much. And when I first started to realize how that has changed was in maybe around 2002, 2003, around that time. I always remember this. We were at home. We didn't want to make dinner, so we thought, well, we don't want to go out. Let's order pizza. So we called, I don't know, whatever, Pizza Hut delivery or whatever. And there's a knock on the door. Oh, pizza, sure. So I grabbed my wallet to go pay for the pizza, open the door, and there's an old guy there.
Oh, man. He's delivering pizzas. That's sad.
Well, I mean, when you think of someone delivering pizzas, you always think of some...
a young high school kid.
Some kid trying to earn a couple of bucks to, he's covered in acne, and he's like,
here's your pizza.
Right? Some kid.
Here you go, boy.
But
I delivered this pizza for you.
When an old guy shows up to deliver pizza, that's like the first red flag that the economy is just like fucked.
I see him at the grocery store to checkouts, bagging the groceries.
I mean, once that starts happening, it's game over, dude. The economy is just going down the fucking tubes.
Well, look at the grocery. That's why I brought up grocery store. Look at your checkout.
Yeah.
The baggers. A lot of over here. Well, we have a lot of retired people that live in Florida. I see a lot of them working. They're supposed to be here retiring, enjoying the good life.
But they can't.
The golden years, right?
Yeah, you can't. You gotta.
Now, I do see a lot of them out with their RVs and stuff.
Right.
But I do see a good part of them still working.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There are a bunch of old people that are living the life, no question. But they're definitely in the minority, and their numbers are going to get smaller and smaller. As we get older, as the next generation gets older, when you think like, oh, I'm looking forward to retirement, I'm like, who the fuck is going to be able to afford to retire? You know what I mean? Who's going to retire? Nobody.
I'm looking forward to the new mindset RV.
Right. It's bizarre. And I always remember that. When I opened the door expecting to see some pimply faced kid saying, here's your pizza, dude. And it's some old guy.
Did you tip him?
Yeah.
And you felt bad.
And then you immediately think like, man, what the fuck is going on?
How was his demeanor?
Well, I mean, what do you expect? He wasn't fucking thrilled to be driving pizza at fucking 11 o'clock at night.
I mean, imagine that. You live your whole life, all those years. You think back all your memories, right?
Yeah.
And here you are in your life now. And you're like realizing it. Here I am delivering pizza. What the hell happened?
Well, that's like that's like the tragedy of getting old, right? Because, and you only realize this as you get older yourself. When you're a kid, number one, you either don't think about it, or if you do, you don't give a fuck. Is that when you look and you see all these old people who are like 70, 80, 90 years old, and you're like, oh man, look at that old guy. You don't realize that in his head, he's still like 25.
Yeah, good point.
In his brain, he's still the same guy as he always was. It's just his body is fucked up and all decrepit. But in his head, he's just some dude.
And if you don't believe that, think about yourself.
Do you know what I mean?
How do you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
you think you always be the same.
And that's what makes it so fucking heartbreakingly terrifying to get old.
Yeah, especially when you realize that.
Yeah, because your body will be fucked up. You'll be old. You get arthritis, whatever. But in your head, you're the same dude. You're the same guy.
All I can suggest is keep your body moving. That's what I try to do.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Keep it moving.
Crazy.
With Gamer Granny.
Keep it moving with Gamer Granny. All right,
why don't you send her a message on YouTube, Gareth, and ask her if it's real.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get her on the show. Talk about British gas. How about
you
that?
Real? Of course I'm real. I'm a real granny.
And now on the Mindset Podcast, we have Gamer Granny as...
Yeah.
How about that?
Gamer Granny. All right, let's play some music. What do you think?
Yeah, let me go to the archive here, folks.
What we got here?
I have an interesting one. Use Me for Your Eggs by the Growlers.
Oh, my God. Oh, what a great name for the song and the band.
Yeah.
Use Me for Your Eggs. All right, let's use me for my eggs. This is Use Me for My Eggs by the Growlers. This is Gareth and Joe on Mind Set Live.
Of your power, you're the
You're listening to Mindset Live. This is Joe Dunn. I'm here with Gareth Davies. You just heard the Growlers. Gareth, what'd you think? The Growlers, man.
I don't even know what to say, dude. I'm out of the last four words on that one.
We played a song, Use Me for Your Eggs. And you might have heard this band. We just played them last week. Do you remember? What was it called? Graveyard's Full?
Oh, see, the Graveyard's Full from last week was awesome. I loved that track. I thought it was very, very cool and well put together. This one, not so much. I'm sorry, Growlers. I do apologize, but
I had heard this one before the Graveyard's Full song.
I love the Graveyard's Full, and
when I heard that, I really liked that. And then I went back and heard this one again. It wasn't as strong, but I still think it's a great song.
Well, yeah, no, it might be.
It had a good vibe to me.
Well, you know what, dude? That brings up a good point, because it might be one of those songs that grows on you, because you burn out on music. Stuff you like immediately, you burn out real quick. If it's stuff you don't like, and you listen to it, it grows on you, and you listen to it forever.
A lot of this music is like that. So, yeah. So this might be something that, Well, here you go. If you go to thegrowlers.com, on the homepage right there, they have another song you haven't heard yet called 1 Million Lovers. It's a video for it.
Yeah.
So see how you think and compare it to the other ones in your spare time.
Oh, that sounds good.
In your spare time.
My spare time, yes. Let's see what else we got going on. So this week on Mindset Central, we've had a number of shows. We've had, of course, Joe doing Mindset Daily twice a week. We had a brand new episode of Power Talk on Wednesday, which was a good one, which was kind of macabre and gross and ghoulish. We talked about historical deaths and their subsequent hauntings, but the deaths that we discussed were pretty messed up, let's be honest. But good show. Then we did Mind Tech Podcast today, actually. We were running a little bit late this week on the Mind Tech Podcast. So we recorded that this morning, and I published it this afternoon. So it is live and ready to go on the website. Surprisingly, though, I got a bunch of emails this week from listeners when we didn't publish at our regular time. People asking me, "Hey, what's up with the Mind Tech Podcast? What's going on?" And I emailed him back saying, "Oh, don't worry, we're getting there. Everything's cool, blah, blah, blah." And one of the guys emailed me back saying, "Oh, I thought I had a sneaky suspicion that Joe Ressington split, that he took off with his new podcast, The Linux Luddites." So you can see the paranoia,
the drama, the conspiracy,
the drama and the paranoia is already spreading throughout the internet.
There's been rumors spreading around,
but no, that is not the case. Joe is still firmly a part of Mindset and firmly ensconced onto the Mind Tech Podcast. And if you want more details on that, just listen to this week's show where we talk about it and get into it and laugh about it. So check that out of episode 32 of the Mind Tech Podcast. All right, Joe, let's spin the wheel again here. We get so much news stories on this wheel. We better start getting to them. So I believe it is your turn.
Let's do it. Spin her up. The short one so we can get it going.
All right, here we go.
There we go. Perfect. Halloween Grinch.
Oh, yes.
This fits perfectly because we just had Halloween.
We just had Halloween.
We talked about candy and treats in the beginning of the show, remember?
Yeah,
So this kind of relates to that. One, there's two clips. So one talks about kids. There's some kids in there in the clip where they talk about what kind of candy they like to get, what they don't like to get, what they throw away. I think that's pretty interesting. And then this other clip is about this lady. She sends out obesity fat letters to kids. So if this kid comes to your door and she thinks that you're fat or chubby,
she gives you
instead of giving you candy, she gives you this like informational letter about obesity.
Oh God, are you serious?
So there's this conspiracy about that. So I thought that kind of fit well with this other story about what kids like, how they react to lousy Halloween candy.
Well, let's have a listen to the kids first, then we'll talk.
Yeah. So
about
that clip is.
I got it.
You got it. You got it.
We're good. Okay, let's have a listen.
Trick-or-treaters hitting the streets hoping to get a lot of candy, maybe stash up enough that'll last them for the year. But for all of those homes that hand out the candy bars, there are some of those who don't deliver when it comes to making the kids happy tonight.
Yeah, who wants apples or raisins? Fox 5's John Castanero joins 5 in Henderson, where he followed some trick-or-treaters to see what they pulled in. John.
Apples, raisins, candy corn, my least favorite. Who wants to see that on this night? No, we're standing in front of one of the more popular houses in this community in Henderson that we came to tonight here. They had some good candy, but the kids, obviously, they have no problems letting their opinions known on this topic. So if you were one of the houses tonight that did not pony up the good stuff, they're here to let you know about it.
Pony up the good stuff.
The slogan of Halloween sounds sweet coming from kids in adorable costumes like a goddess or a pumpkin, but when they say it, it's just a demand for the person at the door to hand over some sweet, sugary goodness.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
If you're not giving out high-quality candy, most parents and all kids say don't even bother opening the door.
If you don't have candy, what's the point of trick-or-treating?
Kids don't want healthy stuff. That's not what it's all about.
You don't even know what they are?
No.
1, 2, 3, run!
We followed several groups of kids in costume and asked for their worst treats. We got stickers. Do you give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down, the stickers? Pistachio nuts. Why don't you like the pistachios?
They're nasty!
And some fruit slices from Costco. What are you going to do with the sliced fruit?
Probably take one bite and not like it, so throw it away.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Dude. It's so weird that that they would get, and this is some do-gooder parent, right? It's typically a woman, right? Because the guys are not going to give a fuck. They're just going to just hand out fucking giant fistfuls of chocolate. They don't care. It's only the chicks that are all like, oh no, we get the healthy, the kids, the blah blah blah, that start getting involved in this. But I totally understand where these kids are coming from. I remember several years ago we went to they did like a Halloween thing at Disneyland, and we took the kids to that, and they had candy stations all over the place where kids would go and get candy, and they would obviously they would hand out chocolate and stuff, but they would hand out like little apple slices and little boxes of those little raisinettes, those little boxes of raisins and stuff.
Yeah,
and the kids would just immediately throw that in the garbage. Because they want chocolate. They want
the good stuff, like the guy said.
They don't want to be eating fucking.
I remember as a kid too. That's what I wanted.
Totally.
I still like it.
Yeah. So you want like the Snickers bars and the Twixes and those things, right? The little mini bars and things like that. If you go to a house and they're handing out those, then you're like, yeah, all right, this guy's awesome.
If you get a bunch of those, but if you get the king size ones,
oh, dude, then you're set. Occasionally you'll run into a house where the people are just like, fuck it, let's give these kids some candy, and just handing out the full size candy bars. And the kids are like, oh my god, they're like losing their minds. But if they go to a place and it's like, here's a little thing of raisins and here's some apple slices, and the kids are like, fuck you.
All right, well, let's continue the clip on.
Yeah.
One dad admits to us he's giving out pretzels.
They're shaped like pumpkins and bats, so it's really kind of cool.
There's no sugar in those.
There is.
Oh, my God.
Huh? Do you hear the voice there? Could you tell?
Yeah.
One dad admits to us he's giving out pretzels.
They're shaped like pumpkins and bats, so it's really kind of cool.
There's no sugar in those.
There isn't.
One home in this community maybe crossed the line posting a sign that reads, candy is unhealthy, don't bother knocking. Other kids' picks for the worst candy were strange.
This.
You hate M&Ms?
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Yeah, this is weird.
The kid, he doesn't like...
He hates M&Ms with peanuts. Play it real quick.
You hate M&Ms?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't think they're not good. These type of M&Ms.
And when presented with a choice between candy or vegetable, we had some shocking developments. You could have the Almond Joy or a carrot. What would you rather have?
Carrot.
Oh, yeah, these kids need to be fucking murdered.
That's set up.
It's gotta be, dude. Okay, so when I say, you say carrot, okay? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's try that again. Now remember, you have to say carrot, okay? Yeah. If you say carrot, I'll give you some candy. Okay.
You could have the Almond Joy or a carrot. What would you rather have?
Carrot.
Why are they? Everybody's picked the carrot so far. Only a dog dressed as a penguin didn't want the carrot. Max apparently prefers candy to the... Now, I didn't believe any kid that said they'd rather have a carrot over candy. It doesn't matter what kind of candy it is. We didn't see any candy corn, and we didn't see any like fruit, whole fruit like apples or oranges. So the homes in this neighborhood, they get it. The good stuff only. You saw that one home that had the sign up about don't even bother knocking because candy's unhealthy. Well, we got one parent's reaction to that whole thing. You'll hear from her coming up at 11. Now reporting live in Henderson, John Castanino, Fox 5 News Local, Las Vegas.
That's just copping out on Halloween. You know what you should have done, John, is take a bag, take a collection of all the candy that the kids didn't want, especially the pistachios, and bring it to the newsroom. Because
Almond Joy was bad.
Yeah.
Almond Joy they didn't want, so I'll take that too. And then there was, the M&Ms and the peanut M&Ms. Kind of ridiculous.
I love Almond Joys. That's crazy.
I like the M&Ms.
Yeah. So, I mean... So
make sure you're bringing back to the studio, John.
See, I don't understand, dude. I mean, if you're gonna do the trick or treat thing, right? If you're gonna have your front door open, so when kids come by, you go to Costco and you buy fucking sacks of that candy and you put it in a big bucket and you just hand out handfuls as they go by, right? Right? I mean, that's the way to do it. If you're not into that, if you think, oh, it's unhealthy, I didn't want to do it, or oh, I'm gonna give it, then no, just close.
Why even put a note?
Close your fucking front door. Turn the lights out in the front of the house and just pretend you're not home and ignore the kids and be done with it.
Now, here's an interesting twist to this. It's not the same story, but it goes perfectly with it. It's the opposite. Let's get this clip going.
Now, this is the one with the Halloween Grinch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is going to be bizarre.
Obesity fat letters.
Oh, my God. All right, here we go.
Knows the feeling of being a young trick-or-treater and not receiving the sweet treat you desired. But what about receiving this? A local woman has decided to take childhood obesity into her own hands with a letter she plans to hand out to children she believes are, quote, moderately obese.
I just want to send a message to the parents of kids that are really overweight. I think it's just really irresponsible of parents just sort of send them out looking for free candy just because all of the other kids are doing it.
She emailed the letter after calling in this morning to local radio station Y94.
They were chatting today and got a call from Cheryl out of the blue who, really wanted to voice her opinion about obesity and that, it really takes an entire community to solve the obesity challenge.
I'm contributing to their health problems. And really...
I guarantee you that this fucking woman is 450 pounds, dude.
Yeah, because I think it's just like a phone interview.
I guarantee she's...
Like the last clip, they showed them interviewing it live, but this is more like over the phone, I think.
She's probably like this huge, massive, fat woman who can't deal with it. I mean, why is she involved in other people's nonsense? Why would you even be... have an opinion. If you think a kid is fat, well, that's fine. Just shut the fuck up about it. There's nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. Why don't you just
hand out candy and who are you to judge?
It's none of her fucking business, dude. I hate these nosy, do-gooder, stupid bitches. Always involved. Always, ooh, what's going on? Ooh, involved. The fuck do you care?
Yeah, because she's like, I want to get the community more involved with the obesity.
Why? Who is she to fucking decide this stuff?
And Halloween is contributing to it by handing out candy. God. I am contributing to that, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, well, then don't do it.
People should hand her flyers that say, shut the fuck up. Don't speak ever again.
She might be getting that because people are...
Your voice is extremely annoying. Please be silent in public. When you're at home, talk all you want. The minute you step outside, shut the fuck up. How, you hand her flyers like that. It's unbelievable, these people. Oh, I don't like candy. Okay.
I'm offended.
I don't like it. I don't like. Okay, if you don't like candy, that's fine. You don't like candy? Don't fucking eat it. There you go. Problem solved. But who are you to tell other people not to eat candy? Do you know what I mean?
The candy rage.
Who the fuck are you? Nobody. Get out of here.
The more you hear this, the more infuriated you get. Let's play it.
Their kids are, everybody's kids. It's a whole village.
NDSU Assistant Professor of Clinical Psychology Dr. Katie Gordon studies eating disorders and says that children and adolescents in particular are very conscious of fitting in with peers. She says the letter might hurt more than help.
It's just that type of thing that for some kids, if they're vulnerable, might trigger.
Wait. They needed a fucking doctor to tell them this?
Yeah.
They needed to go to a clinical psychologist to tell them that handing a letter to a kid saying that you're fat is going to hurt the kid?
It has to be documented.
Are these, it's like fucking...
That's the only way people believe things, is some person coming on TV that's a doctor or some official telling them something. Then they believe it.
So
right?
I don't know. What do you think? If I hand a nicely printed notice saying you're fat, don't eat this candy shit, to a chubby 8-year-old, do you think that 8-year-old will be a little upset?
I wonder if that'll have an effect.
I don't know. Let's call it.
I never thought about it until this report. I am so glad for it.
Oh my God.
Why, thank you, doctor.
And another thing, dude, this fucking busybody, nosy fucking bitch.
And really, their kids are everybody's.
I guarantee you she's single.
They're everybody's kids.
I guarantee you she's single. She's never had kids. She lives alone with like 50 cats.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. Listen to this.
And really, their kids are everybody's kids.
Can you imagine waking up to that? Can you imagine coming home from work? Honey, I'm home.
And really, their kids are everybody's.
Everybody's kids.
You just say, okay, you pack up. What are you doing? I'm packing a bag. But why, honey? Because I gotta leave. I can't hang with your fucking voice.
And really, their kids are everybody's kids.
Oh, can you imagine living with that? Oh my God.
She's probably nosy too, getting in everybody's business around the neighborhood.
Yeah, she's probably watching everyone. Oh, what time is he leaving for work today? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Number 48 has got a new car. I wonder how he afforded that. I know he only works at the store for 4 hours a week. How can he afford that car? Oh, maybe I should call the fucking IRS to see what all these involved.
Crime watchers.
It's like,
call this number, make a report.
Worry about yourself. Worry about your own life. What the fuck do you care about anyone else for?
She probably called some hotline too.
Yeah.
And reported this.
I'd like to report some chubby children.
There's kids coming around taking candy from doors.
And they're wearing gruesome masks. And I find the masks very upsetting. Ma'am, it's Halloween. It's like, come on.
It's just that type of thing that for some kids, if they're vulnerable, might trigger major problems.
We took the letter to the streets for your opinion.
Here, you get candy. You get a letter. Like that kid is probably not having suffered enough.
I would probably say that it's nobody's business, really.
This is more of an issue that parents should be working with their kids on, and it seems inappropriate to me.
What does he mean? This is an issue that parents should be working on the kid. What is he talking about? I don't understand that guy's comment. What is he what parents? What does he mean?
When it comes to these issues, it's something that the parents
what issues?
The issues of obesity.
What the fuck's it got to do with him?
I'm just trying to go from a logical point of view here. He's trying to say that if you're a parent, you should monitor and watch what your child eats.
Why?
Take responsibility.
That's up to the parent.
And not let them go trick or treating and eating all these crazy foods.
If I want my kids,
how dare you?
If I want my kids to gorge on fucking candy 24/7 and drink fucking 12 packs of Dr. Pepper washed down with another 6-pack of Coke every fucking day. Whose business?
Then you're contributing to the.
Well, listen to me. Whose business is that other than mine?
Well, that's
nobody.
A good point. That's a good point, man, because he's talking about, well, they need to take more responsibility.
Why? What does he care? There's nothing to do with him. How about he takes responsibility of his own kids? Let's focus on them. You know? You want to take responsibility? You want to raise good kids and make them eat right? That's fine.
Well, so listen to the tone of his voice and see what you think.
Whose voice?
That guy. Play it again.
All right, let's have a listen.
You get a letter. Like that kid is probably not having suffered enough.
I would probably say that it's nobody's business, really.
This is more of an issue that parents should be working with their kids on.
All right, so there we go. So
working with their kids on.
Right. So first guy, right? Rational, normal human being. Listen.
Suffered enough.
I would probably say that it's nobody's business, really.
There you go. Right. So rational, normal human being. Now we get a guy who is a bit of a mental case, probably. He's borderline involved in what other people should be doing and shouldn't be doing.
This is more of an issue that parents should be working with their kids on, and it seems inappropriate to me.
Inappropriate to him.
Well, he's saying that handing out the letters is inappropriate, right? And that's true. It is inappropriate. But things that the parent, it's irrelevant.
Let's continue on past this part.
That's it. That's the clip.
That was it?
That's it.
What the hell are you cutting these clips short for?
I'm not. That's
just
what
kidding.
I'm doing. But it's like it's if you have fat kids, skinny kids, smart kids, stupid kids, that's
on you, right?
It's no one's business but you.
Yeah, that's what that one guy was saying. It's no one's business.
You kind of draw the line where kids are being physically and mentally abused. You know, if I come home from work, take my belt off, and just out of the fucking blue beat the shit out of my kid, then obviously there's got to be steps taken there, right? You can't have that. But if you're not abusing the child, and the
in a way, they'd say you are abusing them.
Why?
By letting them eat these kind of foods and candies.
Well, you could take it a step further. Why are these companies allowed to make these foods?
That's true. That's very true.
If these
why
foods,
isn't the news journalist asking that?
If these foods are so deadly for children and so life threatening and giving them diabetes and overweight problems, if these things are so fucking bad for children and people in general, why are these companies allowed to produce these things? Why are they advertising these candies toward children? Shouldn't there be a big government inquiry into this, and shouldn't they be shut down and immediately stopped from selling their shit?
I don't think this story, this particular clip was going at that angle, though.
No,
if you listen to it, they were actually for the candy.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't going for that angle. But
I hear what you're saying, because they totally could have went that way.
If these
and
candies,
it would have been a different story altogether.
If these foods, these candies, are so bad for you, shouldn't there be regulations to stop them being made?
This lady could actually cause an uproar.
This lady should shut the fuck up.
She actually might be considered like an activist.
An activist. Fucking mental case, more like.
Putting notes out.
But was she doing that? Like two kids would show up, one would be fat, one would be skinny, and the skinny one would be like, here's a candy, and then the fat one, here's a flyer.
Yeah. Read this.
That is fucked up.
What would you do if your kids came home and you looked in the bag and you saw that flyer?
I would have grabbed that flyer and I would have gone to her house and fucking stuffed it down her throat.
That's had to happen. People, and the parents are probably like, "What the hell is this?
Man,
what is this? What is this flyer in here?"
You think my kid is overweight?
But I bet you there's all kinds of flyers that people hand out besides stuff like this.
Yeah,
think about it.
You know that if you go down like a religious, you're gonna have like, this is the work of the devil.
Yeah.
Satan is at every corner. Repent, find Jesus.
Yeah, and trick them too. Like they come to your house to get treats, and you open them up and you give them little mini Bibles.
Yeah, right. Unless that Bible's made of chocolate, it's going in the garbage. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean?
There you go, kiddo.
Unless it's a mini chocolate Bible, it's going in the garbage. Right. And even if the kids do hang on to the little mini Bible, who the fuck's going to read that? Nobody, right?
It's like a little pocketbook they can keep with them.
Well, they might use it like if they have like a table that's a little wobbly, they could stuff it under one of the legs, or or if they need the kitchen door keep swinging closed, they stuff that under there to keep the door open. Things like that. They might be useful for stuff like that.
I could see them handing out flyers though more than anything.
Yeah, probably so. You could see that. They always get. Well, they do that here in California on January 1st. We have the big, every year the Rose Parade, and it's televised. You probably see it over there in Florida, right? The Rose Parade. Well, I've gone to a few of those, and we get there super early before the parade starts, and before the parade begins, there's all of these fucking mental cases wandering around holding up these big signs: Jesus saves, repent. Jesus is returning, and all. I'm just walking up and down before and you're looking at them like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. They're everywhere, huh?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Do you film them?
I've taken a few snaps, yeah, but I can't run out there with a camera because I'll get the look. But yeah, they're all over there.
I always thought that'd be a good video to do.
Next year, if we do it next year, I'll be there fucking filming. Shit, I'll be interviewing.
Can I interview you?
Yeah. Yeah. So when did you get out of the mental institution? What do you mean?
Let me take your hand, son.
Clearly, you're out of your fucking mind. So, did you just recently get out, or what happened? No, I don't like talking to you. Get out of here.
Yeah, you'd probably piss them off.
Yeah. I'll try and get them so mad that they'll have to turn the other cheek. Oh, God.
So, you want to move on to another story on the Wheel of News or music?
Okay, let's do another story. My turn. Here we go. Boom!
Move it! It's going to break it.
I'm gonna break this fucking wheel. All right, here we go. Remember Rocky Balboa?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Rocky.
Adrian!
Yo, Adrian.
Hey, yo, Adrian.
Yo, Adrian. Yeah, Rocky. So
this
what's
story
up?
is called In the Eye of the Driver.
What's up with this one, dude? What's up with this? Tell us a little background.
Do you remember in the movie the famous Rocky steps where he's running up the steps?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, people go there all the time and they run up the stairs. It's like a tradition. And they actually have a Rocky statue there, I think.
Yeah, they have a statue. That must be so weird. If you live in what is it, in Philadelphia? Is that where it is?
Yeah.
If you live there and you might be just like walking your dog and you walk past those steps and you see, in the course of the 10 minutes you're walking by, you see like 10 guys run up and down. Going,
come on!
Yay! And you must be like, oh my God, what is
have
that?
A boombox out playing the music.
Hey, film me! I'm gonna run up the steps. So what happened with this? What's the twist on this now? Is it a car?
So yeah, well, instead of a person, I guess people are they like to drive down it.
What?
So this is a bizarre story because I guess this car got caught. It was on film, and he's driving down the stairs. Now he says it's an accident. But obviously when you see it, it looks like he's kind of just driving up and like twisting around on it.
So this is not like some kind of publicity stunt. This is just some dude.
Well, I think it is publicity
who
stunt.
decides to drive down
all over the internet.
All right, let's play the clip.
Yeah, car takes on Rocky drive down steps.
Oh, here we go.
District Attorney's Office actually had approved a criminal mischief charge against this 20-year-old Turkish college student who turned himself in here at Central Detectives earlier this afternoon. But after several hours of questioning, police say they are holding off on any charges until they can perform some mechanical tests on that now infamous black BMW. The driver of the old BMW convertible tells police his car just started rolling down the steps around midnight Thursday, and he was forced to ride it all the way to the bottom. One video was shot by Philly chit-chat photographer Hugh E. Dillon, who lives near the art museum and says he does not believe this was an accident.
If your car had just rolled down, you would never notice zigzag unless you really studied how can I get down these stairs.
At one point, the car goes backwards down the steps.
I could see his face. He was very happy, very proud of himself. I was pretty thrilled that I really thought he was going to roll at the bottom because it really just looked very dangerous.
Art museum construction staff say the car chipped a few blocks of stone.
If it's deliberate and intentional, yeah, it's something that angers us. If it's an accident, that's another matter.
A lot of people have driven off at different situations. You know, one guy's drunk, another guy just got lost, another woman couldn't see.
And word of the car on the rocky steps didn't sit well with lookalike Mike Avello.
Absolutely absurd. I can't believe that even happened.
Wait. What do you mean lookalike?
Now, people listening and click the link because you'll see the video, but this guy's a lookalike, the Rocky lookalike. I guess he's known around there. He looks like, and you see him, he does look like Rocky from the 80s with the hat on. He's got the jacket.
He's got the whole outfit on?
Yeah. I'm not sure in his whole background. I'm going to look more into him.
And he runs up the steps?
I'm sure he does, but he doesn't appreciate what they're doing here. This is his temple.
So, I mean, how do they get a hold of this guy for this clip? How does that work?
I think you know how.
How does that work? I mean, you know, the guy...
Yeah, we need to get what's his name?
Yeah, we got to put a... Oh, what about that guy? The one... Yeah, get him on the phone. Okay, can you be there at 3? News crew, get down there at 3. The Rocky guy's going to be there.
He probably saw the news van and walked up to it.
It could be. I noticed you're
walking up my stairs.
I noticed you're doing a story on the car that came down my stairs here. Did he do the voice too, or no? Let's have a listen. Does he talk like a regular person, or does he talk like Stallone? Let's see.
He kind of.
It's not called for.
I think that's rude.
Hello. Absolutely absurd. I can't believe that even happened. It's not called for.
I think that's rude.
He's gonna beat him up, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat up the car.
I could see him going down to the police station.
I challenge that BMW to a 12-round fight in the Coliseum.
Now that would have been a funny video. While he's driving down the stairs, this guy comes out.
I challenge you. Nobody runs up my stairs without my saying so. I challenge the car. Not the guy driving. He challenges the car. He's gonna box the car.
Yeah, because he said the car was acting on its own.
And they put boxing gloves on the car. Come on! And then the car like hits him, and he leans back. He's like, "Cut me, Mick. Cut me, Mick." You bum! You bum! You can't box it, you bum! Mickey, cut me! The BMW got me pinned against the ropes! Unbelievable.
Is that the end there, or is there more?
There's a little bit more. Let's have a listen.
I think that's rude.
As police towed the black BMW to verify the driver's claim of mechanical problems, the issue of copycats surfaced now that the video is all over social media.
I don't think anyone would, in their right mind, would copycat this. I think it's more of a lesson of what not to do.
And another big part of that lesson in what not to do is the now $8,000 in damage to the steps that the art museum says was done by that car going down them, and perhaps they will probably go back on that driver to recover some of that. And Hugh Dillon with Philly Chit Chat suggests that the driver sell that black BMW in order to pay off the bill. Live in Fairmount, I'm Doug.
It'll probably sell for a lot of money because now it's known. This is the BMW that went down the Rocky stairs.
This is the BMW that beat the Rocky impersonator in the boxing match. What a deal.
So $8,000 for a couple chips on the steps.
So let's get
how do they evaluate that?
Let's get the Rocky impersonator for his after the bout response. What do you think, Rocky impersonator? Well, it was a good fight. The BMW was a tough opponent. He had me against the ropes a couple of times. I did throw a good left hook into his driver's side wing mirror. If you notice, it's bent a little bit. And when it came towards me, I gave a good uppercut into the grill of the hood. You can see a dent there. But as you can see by my left side, when he revved the car, he must have been revving full horsepower because he crushed the entire left side of my body. I'm going to be paralyzed for the rest of my life. So he won.
He crushed me.
Yeah, he crushed the entire left side of my body.
And we're going to make a movie out of this.
But now that my left side is crushed, and I've had a little bit of a stroke, my bottom lip hangs down a little bit, and I think it makes me look a little bit more like Stallone. What do you think?
I just was thinking, what is this?
What?
This story. It's like...
It's fucking nonsense.
I know. Like, what is this guy thinking?
So
what's the agenda behind this?
Here's what should be going on here, right? First of all, you got to find out whether or not the car. You have to explore the accident thing. In other words, can the car get to that point without driving over some sidewalk or something to get there? Right? Could it get there by accident, or does it have to be intentionally driven to the top of the stairs? Right? If it has to be driven intentionally to the top of the stairs, it's game over. Right? Even if he intentionally drove it to the top and then lost control, number one, he shouldn't be on the top there regardless. Therefore, he should pay for the damage. Right?
How do you even get up in there?
Exactly. All right? So bottom line, he should pay for the damage.
Well, he's going to say it was an accident. I'm sure he's got some lawyer on there, too.
It was an accident.
It was an accident, but good. Take care of this.
In Turkey, we are allowed to drive anywhere we like. Because he was a Turkish guy, right? Well, yeah.
Yes, in my country, we don't even do this.
In my country, it is the law. We have to drive over steps.
Over the monuments.
If we do not drive over steps and monuments, we have to have the little finger of our left hand chopped off.
I think the highlight of it was the Rocky impersonator. I mean, I know it's not that long, but if you look at the video, it's hilarious to see this guy.
I think
he's going to be getting some FaceTime now.
Oh yeah, dude. They're going, hey, who's that? I need him.
Who was that guy?
My kid is a big fan of Rocky. I need him for my kid's birthday party. Call that guy up. Let's get him over here. Oh, your kid's a fan. How long has he liked Rocky? Fuck knows. He's 3 years old. I'm the fan, really. Bring him over here.
He looks like the early Rocky, you know.
Hey, let me get a picture. Hold up your fist like you're going to punch me in the chin. Okay, cheese.
Coming up on this week's Behind the Curtain on Mindset Central. Rocky, part 1 through 5.
You know what, though? The first Rocky is a great movie.
Yeah.
It really is a great movie.
Yeah, no, it is a good movie.
The first one is truly a great movie. There's no question. And he won an Oscar for that, you know?
It's just when they keep making them.
Right. If he had just made Rocky and that's it, the movie would be a legend because it is such a great movie. But because he kept making 2, 3, 4, you know, it kind of watered down the greatness of the first movie.
I didn't even see the last one.
They're all shit, dude. They're all garbage. You know, you got fucking... Remember Drago? I must break you.
Yeah, the Russian guy
and all that shit. And then you got Mr. T. I pity the fool. You know, and all this it's nonsense. Whereas the first movie is a great, great movie. No question.
You learn lessons from all of them. You know, that's why I wanted to meet this guy. I wanted to get him on the show, actually, the Rocky impersonator.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I want to be on your show. Yeah.
So there you have it, In the Eye of the Driver.
Bam, 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 bam. Crazy. All right, let's get some music going here, Joe. We need to play some more tracks. Do we have any Rocky-themed kind of music we can play here? I would play Survivor in the Eye of the Tiger, but that would get us pulled. So I won't do that. But what do we have here? Anything we can play?
Can you just go ahead and just shuffle it? I'm not sure. Just pick it.
Hit shuffle.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, this is ABC City. You're listening to Mindset Live with Gareth and Joe on Friday night. We're live. We'll be right back. Enjoy.
ABC.
Who are those guys, Joe?
ABC City. That was a band called Holograms. They're from Stockholm.
Really? Sweden. Interesting. That's weird. You hear that song and you get the vibe. You don't think of Holograms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's a very interesting band. I played them a while back on Mindset Radio, and I dug that one out for this show. It's called ABC City, and it's holograms.se is their website. But if you search for Holograms ABC City, you'll see their video as well for this song online.
Interesting.
But I like the energy of that song, the vibe.
Totally.
I like the beat of it.
Yeah, it was good. I like
Pretty
the song,
moving.
but the only thing that got me was Holograms. It didn't. When I think of if I saw or heard of a band called Holograms, I think it'd be kind of like some kind of techno,
or spacey
kind of electronic kind of deal, and not thumping guitars and chanting.
I know. That's why I was surprised when I heard this.
Right. But good stuff, though. All right, let's get some more news going here, shall we?
All right. Is it your turn?
No. It is your turn.
My turn?
Your turn, yep.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
This story right here that's just landed on folks may shock you. Literally. Man survives 2 lightning strikes.
What are the
Now,
odds?
most people don't survive 1 lightning strike. This guy survived 2.
Well, the odds of getting struck by lightning are astronomical, right?
Yeah, but here in Florida we have a high amount of lightning strikes.
Right.
And chances are higher for sure.
But do you get people who get struck by lightning a lot?
It happens. I'm not sure the actual number, but it does happen every year. There is a count.
That's so great. You always hear these stories about someone who's got struck by lightning every once in a while, but they always appear to be kind of rare. They always equate it with like winning the lottery. Getting struck by lightning is like the odds of winning the lottery. Well, people do win the lottery, and people do get struck by lightning,
but you don't see it in the news too much.
But it's very, very rare. So the fact that this guy got struck by lightning twice is like it's unbelievable.
It's a miracle.
It's like that's like winning the lottery twice.
Yeah, because you're right. If you think about it, so do you get lightning out there in California?
Yes, but it's very rare.
See, we got a lot here in Florida, that's for sure.
Yeah, because you need that.
You should see it, dude. It's crazy how much lightning we get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
not during the winter dry season, but during the rainy season, the storms. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, because it doesn't rain that often here, but when it does, if we get like a real big storm, we might get some lightning or thunder. But it's not very common. It's more rare than.
But it also can happen without storming.
Yeah.
I was watching something the other day about this, about how lightning, it can actually say the storm is like 100 miles away, right?
Yeah.
The outer edge of the cloud or whatever forms lightning. It actually can strike out and go like parallel, and then strike down 100 miles further out from where it's at.
Well,
so it could be a clear blue skies where you're at, and you can get struck by lightning by another storm.
I have a story.
Oh, really?
I do. Now this happened when I was a kid, and for a long time I thought it was nonsense. When I was a kid, I really don't know how old I was. I was definitely a child, but I could have been anywhere from maybe 6 to 11 years old, I would guess, in that range. I really don't know, but I remember sitting outside a good friend of mine, outside of his house, and he had like a little fence and a little railing, and I was sitting on the fence, and he was sitting right next to me on the railing. And it was thunder and lightning came down and went right above our heads, like really close to our heads.
Wow.
And we like, oh my God, what was it? And we got all freaked out by it. And because it was so unusual and so strange and so weird, over the years, I kind of put it down to, oh, I must have imagined that. That wasn't real. You know, as a kid, I must have just dreamed that shit up. But then as an adult, you know, talking to this guy, you know, who's also an adult and saying, do you remember that? Fuck yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah.
So I guess it did happen.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently in this summer, I remember being out hiking and I saw a storm. We saw a storm coming in, and I remember basically you had to get cover because you're out there in the middle of nowhere and lightning's about to strike.
Well, you get under a tree.
It's pretty scary. Yeah,
you get under
I guess
a tree or something.
Yeah, and it's like you want to keep going, but then the safer thing to do is
just wait it out.
Yeah, wait it out.
All right, let's have a listen to this clip.
Yeah, let's listen to this clip. Here's the man that survived 2 lightning strikes, folks.
All right, here we
Is
go.
it a miracle?
It is a miracle. Here we go.
But 2 lightning strikes over the weekend, and he says what happened has changed his entire outlook.
Wait. He was hit twice in the same weekend?
Yeah, I think it's around the same time.
That's fucking crazy. Okay, let's listen to this.
But 2 lightning strikes over the weekend. And he says what happened has changed his entire outlook on life. NBC5 Scott Gordon is live with this man's incredible story. Scott?
Brian, it really is quite a story. You know, when Casey Wagner found himself out in the country in the middle of a big storm, he sought some shelter under a tree. Well, then he decided to step out to go find some better shelter, and that's when it happened.
Okay, now, if he mentions Jesus or God or anything in this clip, I'm immediately stopping it.
Okay.
We had a blast Friday night, and then Saturday when the rain came in was when everything broke loose.
Casey Wagner can chuckle about it now, but he still can't stop his hands from trembling.
It's just shaky and numb feeling, like tingling. That's what the whole body feels like.
As a rodeo clown, Wagner risks his life all the time.
He's a rodeo clown, dude?
I guess so. A little background on him.
Is that even like a real profession?
Why does that matter? Oh, because he risked his life is what they're getting at.
A rodeo clown. Couldn't he have been like a fucking...
So he risked his life by standing out.
Right. But no, why is it he's a rodeo... Why couldn't they have said like Scott Wagner, CEO of Microsoft? Why has he got to be a rodeo clown?
Yeah, I know.
Why can't he be like, you know, an executive businessman or some shit?
A scientist.
Yes. Scott Walker, the guy who invented nuclear fusion,
has been struck by lightning twice.
Scott Walker,
he seems to have a special ability, and his hands are numb.
Scott Walker, chief scientist at NASA. No, it's Scott Walker, rodeo fucking clown.
Oh, it gets better.
All right, let's have a listen.
That's just the beginning.
That was him.
What, this video of this?
Yeah, in the clip you'll see it.
Whoa, wait. Now this is starting to get into the realms of.
Because what they do is they flash video clips of his various things he does. You know, he's a radio clown, so they pulled in the clip.
All right, I get that, right?
Yeah.
But when he's struck by lightning. There's video of this.
No, not of the actual lightning strike.
All right.
This is like the interview, and they're kind of just throwing in clips
of him
when they're talking about his background.
So he's a rodeo clown running around the place, right?
Yeah, okay. The narrative to the story.
Gotcha. Okay, here we go.
This is sophisticated stuff.
That was him. So he thought he would be safe this weekend at an off-road big truck event known as Rednecks with Paychecks west of...
Oh, my God.
Rednecks with Paychecks.
So wait a second. Let's get this into perspective here. So there's this dude. He's struck by lightning twice. He's a rodeo clown is his fucking job. And he's at a monster truck event called Rednecks with Paychecks. Is this a fucking joke or what?
This is reality. This is the world we live in.
I don't. This is not the world I fucking live in, dude. I don't know about you.
It's alluding that he's a risk taker. You know, he got struck by lightning. I don't know. You can't analyze this crap.
Listen.
He would be safe this weekend at an off-road big truck event known as Rednecks with Paychecks west of Gainesville. But then a lightning storm moved in, and suddenly it was too late to find shelter.
the sparks came off the tree, and then there was a flash by my foot. So I look over and I heard the bang, and I clenched up, and the flash was right there, and it hit me in the leg.
As he was falling to the ground, another jolt.
And then when I was going down, it was like bam, bam. And when I was going down, another one came up in front of my face, and the flash bang, and that's when it just took me down.
He laid there, unable to move.
So I was sitting there thinking to myself, oh my God, this is it, I'm dying.
Now he says he feels closer to God.
I'm going to go back to church more.
I knew it.
I knew it.
I fucking knew it.
I didn't want to warn you.
I knew it. Dude, when you get monster trucks, rednecks with paychecks, fucking rodeo clowns, you put all those together, Jesus is going to be in there somewhere. You know it. You know it.
Well, this brought him closer to God. It made him realize. Was it a sign from God?
Yeah. It was a sign from God. It means probably that God wants me.
I was struck.
It means that God wants me dead. He tried to kill me twice by shooting bolts of lightning at me.
I'm going to go back to church more, and I give everything to him.
And it's also changed his life in another way.
I'll make sure it's not raining outside any time I go outside now.
And I'm building an ark in the backyard for me, my wife, my 2 kids, the cat and the dog. But I need to get a female dog and a female cat because I can only do 2x2 on the ark. But I'm only taking my family because I don't like my neighbor. He borrowed my tree trimmer and my chainsaw about 6 months ago, and he has not returned them. After repeated requests of me asking him, can I please have my gardening equipment back, he just laughs and slams the door in my face. So fuck him. Only my family's going on the ark. I don't give a rat's ass about my piece of shit fucking neighbor.
And just then the
Wagner
lightning
spent
strikes
Saturday
down.
night in the
Yeah, and then the lightning struck me. So maybe the lightning is trying to tell me that my neighbor is right, and I should not be bothering him about my gardening implements.
Wagner spent Saturday night in the hospital. Doctors tell him that shakiness in his hands should go away in about a week.
My hands are shaking so bad, every time I try to put a nail in the ark I'm building, I hit my other hand. And I'm all bandaged up. I got bruises all over. My thumb is the size of is the size of a balloon because I've been hitting my thumb so much when I was hitting the nails in. And now we have a clip of Warren trying to hammer in a nail in the ark.
Now we need lightning.
No, we need lightning. Well, this is like it's you can't make this shit up. It's unbelievable.
I'm thinking lightning, thunderstorms, and an echo voice.
Yeah, right. It could be like, Warren
Wagner,
you need to build an ark. Wagner, stop hammering on that fucking ark and listen to me. I am God. Wagner, stop hammering on that fucking ark and listen to me. I am God. That's it. Fuck that. I'm gonna lightning strike you, motherfucker. And that's where it probably happened.
He's a perfect candidate for the So do that. Stop hammering and then go
Stop hammering. Stop hammering. I need you to stop hammering. So I am God.
All right, Dan.
There you go.
Oh, man. That's
he
crazy.
quotes the Bible a lot in that movie.
Isn't that bizarre, though, dude? Hit
Yeah.
twice. What are the fucking odds?
I
would much rather have won the lottery instead of getting hit by lightning because I've been told by these fancy egghead scientists that the odds are the same of me getting struck by lightning and winning the lottery. But for some reason, I got struck by lightning. I did not win the lottery, which is a shame because winning the lottery would have helped out my situation considerably. Being struck by lightning just puts me in the hospital for a few days, makes my hands shake, and I can't get back to building the ark for me, my wife, my 2 kids, and my cat and my dog. By the way,
I could have went to the Rednecks Millionaires.
That's right. I could have been the new Duck Dynasty with these motherfuckers.
have the higher ranking. What's that race he was doing? Redneck.
Redneck with a paycheck. Okay, so we're gonna have an event. We're gonna get an event where we get these very large trucks. They're called monster trucks, sir. Okay, with these what are they called again? Monster trucks. Well, why are they called monster trucks? I thought they were just large trucks. Well, monster means big in Latin. Okay, so these monster trucks, and we're gonna get all these people who are low wage, low income, who are blue collar, who are living paycheck to pay. Redneck with a paycheck. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it Redneck with a Paycheck, God damn it. And so it begins. You want to spin that wheel again?
Oh, yes.
Whose turn is it? Mine or yours? I can't remember, dude.
I don't want to get zapped.
I'm so wrapped up with the Lightning Man.
Let me see. I just spun it. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay.
What are we going to do now?
All right, we're going to talk about my favorite topic.
And what is that?
Sports. So, the Redskins, is it a slur or a term of honor? What do you think, John?
Now, this story came up and also relates to your favorite topic, sports.
Yeah. I just said that, dude.
No.
So, what's your take on this? So, what's the background on this thing?
So the team, the Redskins in the NFL, there's a controversy right now where they say it's offensive to have the name Redskins in the title.
Right.
So I have a clip. I have a couple clips for this, and one is there was a game a couple weeks ago where during halftime, one of the announcers started talking about, well, this is an appropriate time to bring it up. This is racist and not, just the way you hear him. So that started the whole controversy.
This is Bob Costas, right?
Huh?
Bob Costas is talking about this.
Oh yeah, him, famous sports announcer.
Yeah, this famous sports guy. All right, let's see how this guy digs his own grave. Let's have a listen to this guy.
Washington playing Dallas here tonight. It seems like an appropriate time to acknowledge the ongoing controversy about the name Redskins. Let's start here. There's no reason to believe that owner Daniel Snyder or any official player from his team harbors animus toward Native Americans or wishes to disrespect them. This is undoubtedly also true of the vast majority of those who don't think twice about the long-standing moniker. And in fact, as best can be determined, even a majority of Native Americans say they are not offended. But having stipulated that, there's still a distinction to be made. Objections to names like Braves, Chiefs, Warriors, and the like strike many of us as political correctness run amok. These nicknames honor rather than demean. They're pretty much the same as Vikings, Patriots, or even Cowboys. And names like Blackhawks, Seminoles, and Chippewas, while potentially more problematic, can still be okay, provided the symbols are appropriately respectful. Which is where the Cleveland Indians, with the combination of their name and Chief Wahoo logo, have sometimes run into trouble. A number of teams, mostly in the college ranks, have changed their names in response to objections. The Stanford Cardinal and the Dartmouth Big Green were each once the Indians. The St. John's Redmen have become the Red Storm. And the Miami of Ohio Redskins, that's right, Redskins, are now the Red Hawks. Still, the NFL franchise that represents the nation's capital has maintained its name. But think for a moment about the term Redskins and how it truly differs from all the others. Ask yourself what the equivalent would be if directed toward African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, or members of any other ethnic group. When considered that way, Redskins can't possibly honor a heritage or a noble character trait, nor can it possibly be considered a neutral term. It's an insult, a slur, no matter how benign the present-day intent. It's fair to say that for a long time now, and certainly in 2013, no offense has been intended. But if you take a step back, isn't it clear to see how offense might legitimately be taken? For more on this topic, including Daniel Snyder's take, You can go to NBCSports.com/nickname.
Well, I'm a little shocked.
There
Joe.
you go.
I'm shocked.
Why is that? What's your take on this?
Well, I was shocked because I expected this to be some maniac retard announcer, and then I was going to rip him apart because he's such a fool. But I found myself agreeing with everything he said.
A lot of it, he does make good points about how it's like a double standard. You can name one team as something, but it's okay, but another one you can't.
Yeah.
And it's just sports, and but it does go back to a deep societal issue
absolutely,
too.
Absolutely. And I think this guy, everything he said there, I think he's on the money. I think he's correct, which is great for him, but not so good for us because I can't make fun of him.
Yes, and
I got nothing to say. I got nothing, Joe. So
this happened a couple weeks ago. Recently, there's been all these tribes coming in, and now they want to change the name. So that might be happening.
Well, they should. They should change the name because it is a racist name, Redskins. That's crazy.
And they brought up the fact that there's all these other teams that have done the same thing, but this is more of a higher profile.
Right. I mean, they totally. I mean, their logo, it looks like some retard Indian on there and stuff with a big nose and stuff. I mean, that's racist.
Yeah.
You can't have that. You got to get with the times. That's offensive. You need to change that shit pronto.
Political correctness.
Yeah. Imagine if it was a black dude or something, or a Chinese guy on there. That'd be fucking riots. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it does make you think, Yeah, I kind of agree with a lot of it too.
Yeah, I completely agree with the guy. They got to change it.
Why is it there in the first place then?
Well, I mean, it's a different time. I mean, 50, 60 years ago, it was a whole different planet, different views, different opinions on shit.
You'd be surprised. There was a lot of negative feedback about it.
Like what? What's he mean?
Well, people just saying that he should just keep the sport, shouldn't talk about this.
So there's a bunch of people, I'm assuming in the southern states, who have no issue with this. And
it could be everywhere.
And the fact, seriously, the southern states. And the fact that they're changing this, they're all bent out of shape. And, this is history. You can't change, you can't vote. And they're all angry about it, right?
Yeah.
Is there anyone in your town that's angry about this? Have you seen people get all mad about it at work or whatever?
No, I haven't. Actually, there's someone was talking about earlier because I brought it up, and they were saying that, it's definitely a double, offensive.
It is
if you think about it. So everybody kind of agrees, but online I'm talking about you see like all the different comments people are just posting stuff.
It's crazy. I mean, the clip that we just played, if you listen,
shut his mouth.
If you listen to that clip and you find yourself disagreeing with what he said, you're a fucking idiot.
And they try to say, well, even Native Americans say it's okay. Well, they try to throw that in there.
Yeah, they always do that shit, But no, it's not okay, and they should change it.
So there you have it, the Redskins controversy.
On Mindset Live.
Yeah, so we got time for another one?
Well, let's see. We're rapidly approaching the end of the show right now. We've been blabbing for 2 hours, so we shouldn't really get into another news story. But we can certainly play out on another kick-ass track. So, Joe, what shall we play out with?
Okay, well, I hope everybody enjoyed the stories there. We'll definitely have the links for the stories in the show notes. On this show here, let's play Technicolor Teeth, a song called Drips. How about this?
Drips.
This one's a weird one, folks.
Yeah, I love the name of the name, though. Technicolor Teeth.
Technicolor Teeth is the name of the band.
Yeah, it makes me kind of nervous. All right, guys. Well, here comes Technicolor Teeth. You've listened to Mindset Live with me and Joe. We'll be back next week. Until then, farewell, good brothers.
See ya.
You're listening to the Mindset Network.